all the good men and why can't I find them? And I understand where it comes from, and I'm not even judging, like I get it. It is beginning to change, and now we're seeing women becoming empowered, which is a very good thing, and I 100% support it, and it needs to happen. It's needed to happen for a long time, but in the space of women becoming empowered, something that is also coming up within that is a lot of anger and hatred towards men. Because in order for any of us to be happy in this world, in order for any of us to be, to really feel great about who we are, feel great about the life that we're living, feel loved and cherished and honored and accepted, the hate and the anger and the hurt needs to leave. There needs to be a collective forgiveness that happens where we put the past behind us and we say, look, what happened. And, right, wrong, good, bad, like it doesn't really matter. But what we need to do is put the past behind us, and we need to decide how we're going to relate with each other. Some of you might be wondering, okay, wait, I'm not connecting the dots here. Well, this is what it has to do with today's conversation. When we talk about where are all the good men and why can't you find them? The good men are everywhere. They're everywhere all the time. And the craziest thing is that even a lot of the men that you might have said were bad men, or you might have characterized them as a jerk or an asshole or a narcissist or whatever, like even a lot of them aren't as bad as you think they are. There's a huge lack of clarity, a lack of understanding, a confusion. You've got to understand most of the people that are being called narcissists are not clinical narcissists. Real narcissists are a very small percentage of the people in our world. The question is, why are you open to relationships with people who treat you like that? All we're doing is continuing to suffer, and the suffering is being perpetuated and spread onto more and more and more and more people until you make the personal choice to stop living your life on that basis, pointing the finger, being a victim. It's always everyone else's fault, but it has nothing to do with me. It was the narcissist. Your life is not going to get any better. You're not going to feel better about yourself. You're not going to feel confident. You're not going to feel empowered in your life. You're not going to create the kinds of relationships you want. You're not going to attract the kinds of people you want to be with. Am I going to become somebody who can spread light in the world versus spreading darkness? Why can't I find them? Going back to what I said earlier, is they are everywhere. They're everywhere. All the time, in every situation. I mean, you go out of your house and you walk down the street. Make note of every man you see when you walk down the street. And we could say 80 to 90% of them will be good men. So this is the question I want to pose for all the ladies out there. And this might be a challenging question to ask yourself. If you feel like all the men are toxic, or they don't care, or they don't want a real relationship, or they don't give a about your feelings, and they just hurt you and disregard you, and if that's how you feel about men, then I would challenge you to question yourself. How did you arrive at that place of feeling that that's what men are? Are all men bad? The answer would be an obvious no. Even a lot of those good men that you might see in the world, your father, your brothers, your friends, the guy who helps you take your groceries to your car at the grocery store, if you were to look behind the curtain and look into the most intimate aspects of their lives, you would find toxic elements. And you might say that it seems like most men are avoidant in nature. Well, you could easily say that most women are anxious in nature. And there are a lot of men that are anxious and a lot of women that are avoidant. If that's what you focus in on, if you want to point the finger, if you want to say it's all about them, it has nothing to do with me, I'm perfectly healed, I'm perfectly integrated, I have it all together, and men are just f***ed up. If you want to do that, do it. But what I'm going to say is nothing's going to change for you. The saddest part of it is that when you perpetuate it like that, you don't just do it for yourself, but you pass it on to other people. And you spread those beliefs around like a virus, and other people buy into it. It creates this cultural conditioning. When it comes to really answering that question, you've got to understand that what we're dealing with is years and years and years of cultural conditioning, of men showing up a certain way and women showing up a certain way. And there being this misunderstanding and this confusion between them, and this inability for each other to connect to the heart of each other, to connect to the truth of each other. And so where are all the good men? It might be one of your exes that you say is a narcissist, might be one of those good men. And what happened was that your own wounding, your own fear and insecurity prevented you from being able to see that. And his wounding, his fear, his insecurity prevented him from being able to see what a good woman you are. As long as we are operating from our past and our fears and our insecurity and this need to protect ourselves, we're not able to see them. Your relationships are a perfect living sculpture of the way that you participate with them. And if you are someone who is consistently experiencing abusive relationships, then at some point you've got to ask yourself, what is my part in this? How am I showing up in a way where I'm attracting this, where I'm allowing this, where I'm accepting this, where I'm seeking it out? Where are all the good men? They might be standing right next to the men that you're attracted to, and you're just saying, I'm not attracted to them. And you might have developed a very conditioned view of reality and a very conditioned view of men. You're filtering out the men that you are compatible with, focusing in on the men that you're not compatible with. And that is a conditioned training that has been happening throughout your life. Problem is not that they're not out there. The problem is that you don't have eyes to see them right now. You're creating men in your own mind. Even when you say, are there good-looking guys out there with good feelings? You're the one who says what looks good and what doesn't. There's not an objective truth that some men are good-looking and some men are not good-looking. That's something you've invented in your mind based on your past conditioning, in your conditioned view of reality, to allow more possibility than you've allowed in the past. You will suddenly realize there are a lot more good-looking guys than you've ever seen before. You'll start walking down the street going, oh my God, there are good-looking guys everywhere. They're all over the place. That's what we were taught in our upbringing. Why can't I find the full package? It's because you're not open to the full package. This is a tough thing to really let in. Finding love is not about finding this picture perfect person who's gonna check all your boxes and they're super hot, and when you walk down the street with them, everyone's gonna ooh and ah and be jealous about the beautiful, sexy couple that you are. That's not what finding love is about. Finding love, finding that person, is about opening your heart so that it's large enough to be receptive to the person who is right for you. They're just a person. They're just a human. And some of the aspects of them may fit into your superficial box, and some of the aspects may not. And if you're still filtering people based on superficiality, you're not loving. You're judging. And because you're judging, you're gonna receive that from other people, and you're gonna become a part of the nightmare. Your relationship is not supposed to be this model of superficiality that like people want to see on Instagram. That's not love. Your relationship is going to be a very unique creation that is only yours. And most of it will be something that people never even know. Someone who's going to work hard for your relationship and the life that you're building together. That's really all you need. Everything else can be compromised. Sending many love, many blessings to all of you. I'll see you back here in a couple weeks. Take care, everybody. Bye.